Good evening. Thank you for coming to our senior orientation, a little different this year. I just wanted to thank Mrs. Whiteman and Mrs. Pignataro, who are going to be delivering the presentation tonight, and that the entire PowerPoint presentation is going to be available for printout on our guidance webpage on the East Islip High School website. In addition, there will be various handouts as well as the FAQ that was submitted by parents over the last 5 or 6 days. Thank you again for coming. I'm going to hand it over now to Mrs. Whiteman. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Stanton. Thank you for joining us. We are going to briefly just review the graduation requirements for students. So, whether students are working toward the Regents diploma or the advanced designation, they need 4 years of English and social studies, 3 years of math and science. The highlights for the differences are language other than English is one credit for the Regents and 3 credits for the advanced designation. All students need 1 credit of either art or music, a half a credit of health, which is satisfied in 10th grade, and then 2 full credits of physical education, which ends up being a half a credit each year, and then totaling to 22 for graduation required by New York State. The exams that are required are a passing score of 65 or higher. There's 5 exams for the Regents diploma: English, 1 math Regents, Global Studies, US History, and Science. The difference for the Advanced Regents diploma is 3 exams in math and additional science, and then the FLAX-B in world language. Students have the opportunity to achieve mastery on their diploma. It would be the Advanced Regents with Mastery. Mastery can either be in math or in science. Students who receive an 85 or higher on 3 exams in either math or science will have that notation on their diploma. They can achieve both mastery in math and science. This year, students were exempt from exams this past June 2020 and August 2020 for that matter as well. So if the student passed the class that ended in a Regents exam, they were given an E for exemption on their transcript. When it comes to mastery, because it's requiring 3 exams, as long as the student has an 85 or better on, say, math, algebra, and geometry, and they have an exemption in Algebra 2, they will achieve the mastery for their diploma. Students do have the opportunity to retake Regents exams for higher scores. If they would like to attempt that while working toward mastery, they just need to speak with their school counselor, and we can set them up to retake an exam. SAT and ACT registration. So for right now, we are still hoping that everything is going to be in person. So SAT and ACT registration would go through either College Board or actstudent.org. You do need to still make sure you're paying attention to deadlines when it comes to registration. Students who are eligible for fee waivers through the free and reduced lunch program are eligible for fee waivers for SATs, ACTs, and also for college applications. So make sure to take note of that. If students took a PSAT last year as a junior and they did use the fee waiver, their fee waiver is currently in their College Board account. So when you go to log in, it will say that you have fee waivers available to use for current registrations. As we're doing the application process, we're going to remind students to send their official SAT and ACT scores to the colleges. That must be done through the SAT and ACT website. So they have to log in and send the scores officially to each of the colleges that they will be applying to. Many times this is the holdup in the application process for students because they forget to do this step. So please make sure to add this to your checklist when you're applying to your colleges. If they ask for our high school CEEB code, it is 331705, which is different from the individual college codes, which are 4 digits. So our East Islip High School website has a wealth of information. If you are using the link in this presentation, it can bring you directly to our page that has important dates and events that will be coming up for this school year. College visits are going to be a little bit different this year. Our college rep visits are going to be fully virtual. Students can sign up for the rep visits in their Naviance accounts. And then there will be more information coming forward about how we're going to be carrying out those rep visits for our seniors and juniors. As students are applying to colleges, they are asked to compile activities and a resume for things that they've been involved in throughout high school. So when they're working on their common application, there's actually a place where they're going to be entering their activities in a list. We also, when we meet with the students in the computer lab, we ask them to complete their senior brag sheet. This is basically just a couple of questions that help them to organize their thoughts on the things that they've been involved in throughout high school. We ask that they highlight their activities from grades 9 through 12. Some examples would be sports, clubs, community service, special awards, leadership positions, work experience, internships, summer programs. The list is really endless. If any students have any questions about things that they might want to include, they can always touch base with us and we will let them know whether it's something that is meaningful. College admissions essay is something that is a pretty important part of the application process. We ask that students note applications with similar essay topics. Anything that can cut down on the amount of time or amount of essays that they would need to write for their applications can help. We ask that they have their essay proofread by their English teacher, to be specific and creative, to make sure that they address the prompts specifically and pay attention to the requested length from the colleges that are requesting. So you really want to make sure that you're answering the question that they're asking you, and you're not running on over the amount of pages that they're asking for you to send in. We also refer you to the website for the Common Application essay prompts. They have remained the same over the last couple of years, so students can now see what essay prompts are available to them. College admissions terms to know. So as you're applying to schools, you're going to hear a couple different terms for deadlines. Regular admissions deadlines are usually, I'd say, probably January, February for most schools. Early action and early decision are based on the school anywhere from November to December. Many schools now have started to do early action 1 and 2, early decision 1 and 2. And each college really has their own deadlines and procedures, so you really want to pay attention to the information that's on the individual college's websites. The real difference between early action and early decision is that early decision is binding by contract, early action is not. So when students are looking at what the deadlines and when they'll be applying, if they have any questions, they can see us directly. Yes, so I'm going to turn this over to Mrs. Pignataro, who is going to take it from here.
Hi everyone. So I am going to be covering the second half of our presentation, starting with the Common Application. Common Application is probably the most widely used application that we see in our office. It covers over 600 schools and almost all of the SUNY schools. So we do usually ask students to look there first to see if possibly all of the colleges they're interested in may land on the same application. This way they fill out the body of the application one time, and then they can do school-specific things for each of the schools within that application. Naviance, we're going to be working with the seniors next week. We'll be visiting their English classes just to check in with them, make sure that they're all able to access their Naviance accounts, and also that they fill in any information there that may need to carry over. Naviance essentially works like an online filing cabinet for us to hold all of their college application information in one place. Teacher recommendations will go there, counselor recommendations will go there, and students can upload information there as well. And that way, we can make sure that we send complete packages out to all of the schools. We'll work with the students to match Naviance to the Common Application if that is what they're using. And we also have a tutorial video available for students on our website who would like to get started on that matching process early. Follow through for students. So we always highlight for students here. It's really, really important that students are the drivers of this process. If they're applying to college, they're the ones that are going to be on campus advocating for themselves, so we want them to work on those skills now. For students, just to make sure that they always enter any colleges they apply to into their Naviance accounts to keep track of their applications. Also, students can always contact a college directly if they have questions about the status of their application. Very often students will come to our office and ask us questions about the status of their application. Has it been received? Is it complete? These are questions that they can absolutely call or email a college representative to ask. College reps universally tell us that they love to hear from students. They want to make those contacts, and it's really great practice for our seniors to start doing that. We also ask seniors to keep in touch with teachers and counselors about their evaluations or letters of recommendation. So if a student asks a teacher for a letter of recommendation and says they need it by a certain date, they may want to follow up with that person just to make sure that it's being uploaded in time. Also, we ask students to check that they complete every application in its entirety. Sometimes students will say, I don't understand why I'm getting an error message or why I'm getting an email saying that something is missing. And it turns out that they've missed a piece of the application or maybe didn't click a certain button that they needed to click along the way. We're available to help and look those things over at any time, but we always want the kids to be in charge of that process. The pink sheet. So this is something that's kind of specific to our office. We use a tracking sheet. There's one right here, and we will have one on the website for you to look at as well. And we'll be reviewing this with the students. It's an internal tracking sheet that we use in our office between the counselors and the guidance secretaries, just to make sure that we're keeping track of all the pieces of each college application to make sure they get where they need to go on time. Mrs. Gick and Mrs. Wisman are our secretaries. They are amazing and very knowledgeable about the process and always happy to take questions from students. For students who are fully remote, if you're getting ready to submit an application, please reach out to your counselor. We'll walk through the process with you. We'll be happy to do a phone conference with you and just make sure that we've got everything that we need. And we can absolutely assist in getting that sheet filed in our office as well. Senior year is very important, so we don't want our seniors to kind of tap out of the process and say, well, I've made it this far, I'm going to kind of relax. We want to make sure that students know that the colleges do request to see first quarter report cards, mid-year reports, which are sent after the second quarter, and they do request final grades and proof of graduation as well. So any offer of admission is conditional, meaning that the college can rescind their offer of admission if there's something that they don't like that they see. So we do not want our seniors to be resting or tapping out of their classes. The Early College Program at Suffolk Community College. This is a brand new program to our district this year. It's a partnership program between East Islip School District and Suffolk Community College. Our students have an opportunity to earn college credit. Their courses are taken on the weekends or evenings, so they don't interfere with your courses here in the high school. There are some admission requirements. They have to have a cumulative unweighted GPA of 85 and an 85 on a Regents exam to be eligible to apply. If you have any questions about your eligibility, please contact your school counselor. We'd be happy to go over your record with you. And we will have this program in place for the spring. So if you keep an eye on Parent Square, as soon as we have the registration information for spring, we'll be sending that out to everyone. So this is a really great opportunity for our kids to get some transferable college credit from Suffolk Community College. And we will have a link here through the presentation that you can click to read more about the program. Scholarships. This is something we get tons of questions about in the office. There are many different types of scholarships. Some are merit-based, based on special talent that you may have. Some are specific to a college that you're attending or maybe a specific major that you have. And some are national competitive scholarships. So we will have links on our website for scholarship search engines such as FastWeb and ScholarSnap that you can use to search for national scholarships. We also have local scholarships available just to our East Islip students, and those are posted online in the spring. Seniors, you'll get tons of reminders about those. You probably won't be able to get away from us with the reminders about those, We really do encourage our seniors to apply for any type of scholarship that interests them or that they think may apply to them. Every little bit helps. And any scholarships that you are awarded, we ask that you share the good news with us and send us a copy of your award letter. So either send us a hard copy or a copy of an email. Financial aid. So the gateway to financial aid for every college is the FAFSA, which is the free application for federal student aid. We just want to make sure that parents are aware that the website is right here, fafsa.ed.gov. Beware of websites that are designed to look alike or look like the FAFSA website. The first F in FAFSA stands for free. You should never be charged to file a FAFSA. There's also a separate financial aid form called the CSS profile. This is used to award funds by a small number of private schools. It's a product that's offered through the College Board. So if you have a specific school that you're applying to that requests the CSS profile, we can certainly help link you up with that. Or you can find it through your College Board account. The NCAA, so this is for our college-bound student athletes. If your child is planning on playing a sport at the level of Division I or II, they will need to create a certification account with the Eligibility Center in order to be eligible for college sports. A small number of schools play through the NAIA, which is a separate athletic association. If you need assistance with that process, I can certainly help with that as well. I'm our district's liaison to the NCAA, so any questions that you may have about athletics and paperwork, please feel free to give me a call. Eligibilitycenter.org is really the jumping off point for students. And for seniors, we ask that you get this process going no later than the fall of senior year, so that's right now. Some students may also want to create a profile page, which is free, and that's for students who are not sure if they need a certification account yet. You can convert a free profile page to a paid certification account if necessary. Parent Square, this is a new program that we're utilizing this year for parent contact. You should have received an email invitation to Parent Square, but if you have not received that email or need to create an account on your own, you may use this link to Parent Square. You'll click up top to sign in and create an account. We ask that you use the email and phone number that you've provided to the school. This will make sure that you're receiving all of the updates from the school, and also put the Parent Square app onto your phone. This way you'll receive notifications from the school when we do send messages out. And that brings us to the end of our presentation. This is just a reminder of our names and our caseloads, as well as the administrators here in the building. If you do have any questions, we ask that you call or email us anytime. And we'll also be linking to a document that covers questions that were submitted in advance from parents. Thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to working with your seniors this year.